Hey kids, do you like wrestling? Well, we like wrestling too. We are Shake Them Ropes here on the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Myself and Chris Novembrino kind of doing a lazy river of wrestling criticism, going through the news and whatever happened in stateside television wrestling. And also, you know what? Sometimes we just like to watch old stuff and talk about that too. Love for you to give us a listen. If you haven't already, we are Shake Them Ropes here on the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network.
Do you like wrestling trivia? Then check out the 5-Star Match Game, the Pro Wrestling Quiz Show. I'm Joe Gagney, and every episode, I grill 3 contestants with 5 rounds of power-packed wrestling trivia. We have over 30 evergreen episodes in the archives covering WWE, AEW, Japan, Mexico, and much, 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 much more. Play along at home and check it out today.
This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
Here we go! Kiss me like a love sound. So I'm gonna call me. Whoa, whoa, 君が片思い。恋が走り出したら。
You're listening to the Emerald FlowShow on the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network.
Welcome to episode 88 of the Emerald FlowShow. We're a podcast on the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network. You can follow us on Blue Sky and X at Emerald FlowShow. You can listen to us on all of your favorite podcast apps and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. And if you're feeling generous, you can donate to the show at voicesofwrestling.com/donate. I'm Gerard, back with Paul. And Paul, I suppose this week it's going to be a little different in our format. We don't really have much All Japan to talk about. So we're going to sprinkle in some other companies.
Yeah, I mean, basically, we literally just have like one talking about All Japan because they literally in the last 2 weeks ran 0 shows.
0 shows. So just quickly, we'll get that out of the way. Some stuff on Yuma Anzai, or speculation on Yuma Anzai. I read the translated interview of Anzai on Michelle's ProRes translation blog, which is a great resource if you're not familiar with it, for lots of interviews in Puro. And upon reading it, I think he's actually doing like a movie or a TV, which also sort of gels with what Fukuda has been having the wrestlers do. He's been getting the movie roles and stuff like that. So that makes the most sense, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I was kind of thinking that he was maybe gonna do a Europe tour, but I feel like if he was doing that, he would have popped up already, right? Because he's only gone for 2 months, and we're already kind of like in mid-July already. So like, there's not that much time left for him. Like, I actually went to the GWF show on Sunday. I was kind of low-key expecting him to pop up there, and he didn't. Jack Morris was on it, but he wasn't. And he also didn't pop up anywhere else. So yeah, I definitely feel like a movie seems like the most likely thing, because otherwise, like if he was injured or whatever, he would just say that he's injured and he's just out for 2 months, right? So like, he has to be doing something. And the fact that it seems like nothing visible, like, seems like, yeah, most likely it's like a movie. So everybody's under NDA, so we won't know until they like wrapped up the shooting and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I figured so he made the thing he would start on July 1st on his absence, and I figured, okay, on July 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, or whatever, he'd tweet out a bunch of like dates if he was wrestling elsewhere, but
Yeah.
that never came. So got a little suspicious. Now, my crazy idea, and this is pure 100% speculation, but I was like, maybe he got married and had a honeymoon because they would not reveal that their like 26-year-old future ace, who's a handsome young man, is getting married.
Yes, that they're also doing a bunch of like yaoi baiting with as well.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So-
no, definitely not that they're gonna reveal that he's married. Yeah, no. Like it's gonna come out in like 10 years, like that he has like 2 kids or whatever.
But that's 100% pure speculation on my part. I was just trying to think of like where he was, but filming a movie or maybe even a TV show is the most scenario, and also fits in with what the company has been doing, right? Kento
And
had that
timing as well, right?
Yeah,
Because I mean, honeymoon is what, but like you really go on your honeymoon for 2 months. That's a long time. That's a big.
well,
honeymoon.
like some time off or whatever for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I that was just speculation on my part. So before we get in, I'm just going to do a quick one match recommendation from Big Japan on June 25th in Sapporo in Penny Lane 24, which actually looks a lot like Shinkiba First Ring. The main event of Daichi Hashimoto and Hideyoshi Kamatani versus Masato Tanaka and Yuya Aoki. Pretty good little match there. Worth checking out, even with the truly bizarre camera angle that Big Japan was using for that show, which is sort of like a single cam shot, but also very tilted upwards, but not quite a bird's eye view. Although they claim.
Oh yeah, I know the one. They used that in Korakuen, where they basically shot the show from like. They used that. Did you ever watch the Daisuke Sakamoto versus Jeff Cobb match?
Oh yes.
That had kind of right there because they filmed that from like the balcony in Korakuen. It looked really weird.
So that match is on Core right now. They've uploaded a couple of shows since the Strong Climb finals, but that was the only match that I thought looked of any interest, and I haven't gone through it all. There was like some other stuff, but it hasn't been uploaded yet. That happened at the end of June. But yeah, I'm trying to like pay attention to Big Japan now again. I don't know.
Well, you still can.
Yeah. We'll talk about this later, but I think there's one company in the bigger shitter than Big Japan.
Oh, absolutely.
So we move on then to DDT with their Rock and Ring 2025 Play the Strikes, Shout the Cheers from yesterday, July 13th at Corkin Hall. DDT still not giving attendances, but this looked pretty full because Kaisi Takechi was back on the show in the semi-main event. Paul, how much of the show did you see?
The top 3 matches. So the Universal, the
really...
6-man, and the KOD, yeah.
Well, I would say the top 4 matches are the only thing that really bother talking about, except I will say that in the dark match, Naomi Yoshimura has gotten himself into tremendous shape, quite possibly the best shape of his career, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I will be looking forward to if they actually push him, but he's been working like opening match duty upon since his return.
Yeah, that's rarely like, I mean, it depends, right? Like, if you've been out for a while, they kind of put you there, but, eventually you want to move out of that. But I mean, if he got himself in good shape, I think at least that would be a sign they want to do something with him, right?
Yeah, I would hope so. So Chris Brooks, Jun Akiyama, and Daichi Sato defeated Yuki Ino, Yuki Onaya, and Yuki Ishida in 8:29 with a frog splash from Sato on Ishida. They seem to be high on Sato, and that was a solid little match. And then the three-way match of Super Sasadago Machine versus Denshoku Dino and Kazuki Harada at 419. With Machine winning with a schoolboy Harada, and then we got the announcement that Muscle Sakai will be facing Minoru Suzuki at one of the Peter Pan nights in the 50th anniversary of the Muscle Sakai retirement. And Dino will be facing Hiroshi Tanahashi on the second night of Peter Pan in Korakuen Hall on August 31st. They're doing 2 nights of Peter Pan this year. One in what was it called? Hinashida Arena in Tokyo on the 30th, and then at Korakuen Hall on the 31st. So they're sort of spreading everything over. But we'll get into some of the other matches on that show coming up. Special 6-man tag match, Mao Cannon with Kimihiro and Kazuma Sumi defeated Masashi Takeda, Illusion, and Hiroto Sakuraba in 11-10 with a Japanese leg roll clutch hold from Mao on Illusion. This was really good. I continue to be impressed by Sakuraba, who's the other sort of celebrity. I think he's like some sort of actor or stunt man. He's come into DDT, worked some matches. Unlike Kaizei Takechi, he's like a mean-looking big guy, but his power moves look really good. So I think, if he wanted to be a pro wrestler full time, I think he'd do pretty well for himself. So that was probably
he's the guy. He's the guy with the big arms, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the best of the undercard matches, I thought. And then we're getting into the sort of the top half of the card territory. So special tag match. Kosei Fujita and Takashi Masada defeated Toei and Yuya Kuroku in 12-22 with the Masada no Chikar Kobu Muki Vom from Masada on Kuroku, which is a Michinoku driver, or the figure 4 Michinoku driver, samurai driver. This was really good. I actually thought the best part of the matches were the Fujita and the Toei exchanges. I would say that very charismaless Void of Toei stepped up here. I mean, he's a solid wrestler, but he's not particularly dynamic or anything.
No, he's not.
But I thought he looked good. I mean, Fujita looked great, right? And working with Toei really made Toei look good. And then after the match, Chris Brooks came out and harassed Fujita with a puppet. I was like, what's the story behind this puppet? It looks like a Muppet, like something you'd see on Sesame Street. And apparently Brooks just bought it drunk one night online. And I'm like, well, that's a good enough story for DDT.
I mean, it's kind of how he ended up there, right?
Yes. And then Zack Sabre Jr. came out to a big, but not massive pop for the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. And then, I don't know, they chased Masada and Brooks around the ring a bit. And then Fujita got the puppet and then threw it across the ring back, across the ring back at Brooks and everything. And so we're getting Fujita and Masada versus Fujita and ZSJ on the August 30th Peter Pan show, which, I mean, I think will probably be one of the matches of the weekend.
Oh yeah, no, that one has a chance to be really good if everybody's motivated.
Yeah, for sure. DDT Universal title. Minoru Suzuki defeated Shinya Aoki in 15-17 via referee stop. Now here's the thing. I don't know. This match went too long, and
yeah,
I just think that's too long for Suzuki these days. They had to fill the match by brawling a whole bunch, which in the crowd. Now, to be fair to Aoki, he got some cuts on his back, and he took some spills into the chairs and everything. But I don't know. Like the last couple minutes with the trading the submissions was fine, not bad. And then he got the win with the referee stop, like the elbows to the head and everything like that. So a decent little finish, but it just dragged on, and I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of
Suzuki
either.
nowadays. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Mao's going to challenge Suzuki at Peter Pan, which I assume Mao's going to win.
I mean, he should. Yeah, definitely.
Yes. God. Yeah. And I'm very curious what Mao can get out of Suzuki.
Yeah, these days, that's the thing. Like a couple of years ago, that I would be like, yeah, that's going to be a really good match. These days, I don't know, but like if they do a bit more brawling, I think that might work better with Mao, because Mao is actually kind of pretty decent at plunder. Yeah. So I could maybe see that be a bit better. I actually have to say, like for this match, like the thing that came to my mind was like I actually liked the like preview tag match that they did at the like previous like Hurricane show. You know, the one that had like Higuchi versus Brooks.
Oh yeah, right.
Like that preview tag I liked more than I liked the actual like title match here, because I thought that was much more intriguing. You had like Suzuki kind of getting choked out and everything, and here, yeah, it was just kind of blah. I don't know. Like I think especially because these guys, like this one, I actually would have been happier if they had just stuck to like mat work, really. Which I do think both of them are good at. Like, I don't get why they had to, like, resort to the brawling. They could have just done, like, a grappling match and just left it at that and maybe cut off, like, 5 minutes. And I think it would have been perfectly good. But, yeah, this, for me, like, in the middle, it just dragged, like, so badly. And, yeah, just wasn't a big fan of it.
So special 6-man tag match, Yuki Ueno, Akito, and Kaisi Takechi defeated Daisuke Sasaki, Hideki Okatani, and MJ Paul of everyone's favorite unit, Damnation TA, in 1140 with the BME from Ueno on Paul. Now, of all of Takechi's like 6-man tags, there have been some really good ones, but I thought this was the weakest because you had Sasaki and Paul in there. But my God, that Takechi flying spring swan dive forearm, that is duty though.
Oh yeah, no. Like he's
But
like
AJ Styles,
he's another
shame,
guy
for
though.
sure.
Yeah, he's another guy where it's like if he wanted to be full time, like what I've seen of him, like he seems to be a natural, really.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it was still a fun little match, but you had the Damnation TA being Damnation
Yeah.
in the middle of this, although it was kept relatively short. And it wasn't bad. I just think it's the weakest of the Takechi matches that he's had so far.
But he's over like crazy with the crowd, though.
Of
right?
course, yeah.
Nuts.
That's why they filled up Corkin, probably.
Yeah, I mean, but to be fair, I feel like the Higuchi versus Brooks Corkin and also looked like it had like got attendance. It's just we can't compare the two because we don't know what either of them drew.
Yeah, and then main event for the KOD openweight title, Kazusada Higuchi defeated Hiroshima in 16:55 with the brain claw slam to make his first defense of the title. I went 4 stars on this. I thought it was great, but not like outstanding match of the year level. I think if we had this like 2-3 years ago, even, it would be better. I would say that Hiroshima, if we go like peak Hiroshima out of 10, he's like still an 8. But mind you, this man is 51 years old, so he's still an incredible pro wrestler at 51 years old, and this was still a great match, though. I just think it wasn't quite as dynamic as I was sort of expecting, but I mean, it was still very hard hitting and, great finishing sequence, teasing Hiroshima win, and then Higuchi just locking in that claw.
Yeah, I think I actually like this a lot more. Like I'm honestly debating between like 4.25 and 4.5. Like I thought this was really, really good. I agree that it's not peak Hiroshima anymore, but like I constantly keep makes sense because I think he kind of started around the same time. Like I constantly keep putting him into like the same like cohort as like guys like Marufuji, for example. And then I keep forgetting. It's like no, he's much older than Marufuji, and he's in so much better shape than Marufuji is. Like,
yeah, he worked a pretty wild style too.
Exactly, that's the thing. Like that, it's not like he was taking it easy. He was literally the guy like carrying like the work rate side of like DDT for like, I mean, at this point, like close to like a quarter of a century, which is insane. So, but I thought this was still really, really good. Like I thought the structure was just like done really well, where it's just Higuchi's just this monster, and you could just get like very brief like Hiroshima like hope spots before like Higuchi just like reasserts his dominance, and like that finish was just a thing of beauty. Like that's literally like a serial killer finish is what they did here. But like Hiroshima gets like the pin and like he gets like the very close near fall. But then as Higuchi's kicking out, he just grabs Hiroshima, like just muscles him up and just hits the claw slam immediately and pins him for the win. Like that I think that was my favorite finish of the year so far. Like that was just completely awesome. So yeah, I get where you're coming from. Like it maybe was like peak Hiroshima, but I think like what they did still worked so well that for me, like I just thought it was like maybe I might be getting towards like the bottom half of my top 10 towards the end of the year. I'm gonna have to see how it actually shakes out, but it definitely will be in consideration.
And then after the match, Jun Akiyama came out to challenge, and he even decked Higuchi, and Higuchi sold it like he got knocked out and was like all groggy and everything like that. So what's going to happen is on the August 30th, it's going to be Higuchi versus Akiyama, and then on the 31st, will be the winner of that match versus the winner of a battle royal on July 16th at one of the Beer Garden shows. So it's going to be back-to-back title defenses, which I dislike as a booking thing, but it's DDT and everything like that. Also in August, before Peter Pan, there's going to be another like I can't remember what the match format is, but it's going to be like one of those right to challenge anywhere, anytime things. So be mindful of that at Peter Pan too.
I don't know. I just hope they give Higuchi like a big long reign.
Yeah,
It's just
I
awesome.
suspect he'll come out of Peter Pan still the champ.
Yeah, I feel like this feels like his big long-term reign, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
beating Hiroshima as the first defense and then immediately going to Akiyama, it's like it's two guys you can basically you establish that he's gonna get a run and you don't have to give up any of the young guys. Like you don't have to you don't have to do end of defense early on or Mao or whatever that you probably want to save for in a couple of months or whatever. That's when you want to do those matches. You don't want to do them right away.
Yeah. So that's good because I think DDT has been one of the underrated companies of 2025 because you've got Higuchi back in the mix and then you've got the Astronauts, or you had the Astronauts with their tag title reign.
Yeah, I actually talked about that on shameless plug on the half-year award show on Wrestling Omakase, where I voted DDT as the number 3 promotion of the year because it's just incredibly solid what they do. Even before Higuchi came back, I think they've just quietly just kind of done a really well job, and they don't really get talked about all that much. But it's whenever I tune into DDT, I never really walk away I've wasted my time basically.
Well, sometimes I feel like that. What I will do is I'll put the undercard on in the background and then maybe halfway through the show start really paying attention.
Yes, I mean, but that's always been the case with DDT.
Because DDT shows start early in my time zone, often this started at 10:30 at night, right? And often even their big shows will be in the afternoon. Bigger than Korakuen shows will be in the afternoon. So it's just and then it's I look up and then I see Super Sasadanko Machine doing a PowerPoint presentation. I'm like, okay, well,
yeah.
Back to whatever else I'm doing for another hour, whatever.
And then you can, when you see Ueno coming out, it's okay, time to pay attention.
Yeah. And then one other big note here before the show started, a new rookie was unveiled who will be making his debut on August 30th, and that is Hinata Kasai. And yes, that's right, that is the son of Jun Kasai. Now, look, I'm just going to be blunt with this. Would you say that Japanese professional wrestling is the least nepotistic of all professional wrestling anywhere in the world?
Well, it's in some ways, yes, but it's more so because the sons are always kind of bad. There is a lot of nepotism going on because a lot of these guys only have spots because of who their dad is. There's no way they still would be hanging around. I mean, and also, if we're talking about nepotism, we just need to look at the largest Japanese promotion where a guy has been getting a push and potentially, I don't know. I know people are saying that the promotion has given up on him. I don't believe that. I think he might be winning the G1. Shota Umino is where he is because his dad is the head ref. So it's
maybe.
American wrestling is worse. Pushing people to the top because of who their dad is.
To be fair, though, if you looked at young Shota, when he was following Mox around and everything like that, you're that's a guy you want to get behind.
Oh, absolutely. It's just that
it's not
the last 2 years or whatever.
He's not a Leona.
No, he's not that bad. No, absolutely not. People kind of go a bit over the top when it comes to Shota Umino, but he's there's way worse nepotism cases. I'd argue he's also better than Daichi Hashimoto was early on. Hashimoto has gotten better, but early on he was really rough.
Yes, Daichi Hashimoto is a perfectly solid wrestler. What I was saying in for that Big Japan match I watched, his house show effort is pretty good these days. Remember Champion Carnival 2019 when he was just a lazy bum?
Oh God, yeah.
So his default has greatly improved, but I guess I will sort of bracket this out that right now Dragon Gate is really experimenting with the sons.
Yeah.
But that remains to be seen because none of them obviously have stepped up to be main.
And I mean, I will say, Mochizuki Jr. is absolutely somebody you can nepotism, yes, but also he's really, really, really fucking good.
Yeah.
So
so remains to be seen with Strong Machine J and all that and Ishin.
Yeah.
But I will just say I was thinking about this yesterday and I'm well, I think technically Katsuyori Shibata is the most successful second generation wrestler in China.
Off the top of my head, yeah, I'm trying to think of somebody else that is like a really obvious second generation guy. Yeah. I think that's a fair statement. Unless I'm forgetting someone really obvious.
Very, very different than the United States or Mexico.
Oh no, I mean Mexico is by far the most nepotistic. Like that's like nepotism is like literally like a key carrying pillar of like lucha.
And then what's interesting in the States is that a lot of the sons have surpassed and daughters have surpassed their parents.
Yeah,
in
that
stardom
too.
level, right? I mean, yeah, you know, Randy Orton, as much as it's easy to bag on him, he's a bigger star than his dad,
Cowboy
Bret
Bob
Hart.
Orton. Yes.
Bret Hart, even, although
Yeah.
the wrestling business was very different when Stu Hart was a wrestler, but still, you know, and you could go on about that. You know, you can go on and on.
I'm trying to think about Europe right now, but there aren't too many like guys that really broke out. As like the obvious one that I'm thinking of is obviously like Axel Dieter Jr. Because his dad was like an actual like I mean that again like depends how you measure success, right? Because Axel Dieter Senior was like obviously like a really big local legend, and his son like managed to like go to the US or whatever, but it's not like he's had like a blowaway career in WWE. So
yeah,
it's a bit of a tough one. Then and Zack Sabre Jr. is a fake junior. Like there is no Zack Sabre Senior. So he doesn't count. And then I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anybody else that's like a second generation guy in Europe. Probably is somebody I'm forgetting, but yeah. Yeah, in Europe, it's more of a case that there just aren't really many like second generation guys. So I guess by default, then from like the bigger markets, it wins compared to by just not having any. But yeah, I kind of get your point because yes, it's definitely much more of a case of like in lucha, it's like if you don't have like any kind of nepotism, it's even if you're really talented, it's going to be really hard to get anywhere. And in the US, if you have like a dad who was in the business, like that's basically like that's at least going to get you a push to the mid card and potentially to like a title at least. Whereas in Japan, it gets you a roster spot and sometimes not even with. I mean, Leona is a really good example, right? Like try and find a bigger legend than, you know, like his dad, and he still only manages to like get on like indie shows because he's bad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is DDT. I think Kasai. I think in DDT, Kasai will have a decent shot, and he'll sink or swim on his talent.
Yeah, that actually made me realize that I forgot that like just like Harashima, Jun Kasai is one of those guys that is much older than I always think he is. It's like, yeah, Jun Kasai is also 50, so yeah, it makes sense that he actually has a son that is now wrestling. It's kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah, I would suspect we might be because this is not the trend, right?
Yeah,
I expect we'll see some more kids, and you know, with Dragon Gate and everything, maybe 5-10 years from now, it will be a very different scene, and you won't want to have a parent that was a famous wrestler.
Yeah, I mean, who knows how Suwama's son's like football career is going?
Yes, that's
because I feel like whenever that one is over, he just has like an automatic like entry ticket to the All Japan Dojo. He just has to show up.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like soccer is not the best sport to become a pro wrestler.
Better than basketball.
Maybe. All right, so that's DDT, and so there's a lot to look forward there. Okay, so now we'll go back to our more regularly scheduled programming, and we got a few Noah shows to begin. So we begin with Wrestle Magic 2025 that was on June 30th at Shinagawa Prince Hotel Stellar Ball. They didn't do an attendance for this, but this place only held, I think, like 750 or something when I was looking it up. So
I mean, it didn't look empty. I will say that.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a notable step down from last year's Wrestle Magic. I don't think anybody can deny that. Like to go from Sumo
I loved
Hall
Wrestle Magic last year
to this. Also, yeah, I mean, A, in size of venue, but also B, yeah, in terms of show quality, this was not nearly as good as last year's Wrestle Magic.
I'd also argue that this didn't feel that special.
No,
it really had any difference and
felt like a house show plus.
Yeah. Barely, you know, it's just like,
yeah.
But I feel like the way that Nosawa tried to hype it up.
Oh, he tried his damnness to like hype this one up, yeah.
Yeah. So we begin with the opening matches is Keno, Kenta, and Uka Sasaki defeating Masaki Mochizuki, Shuji Kano, and Titus Alexander in 8:13 with the horizontal cradle from Kenta on Alexander. And this needed some more time to cook, But I mean, it was fine for what it was, but I was just left like, oh, come on.
Yeah, with these three guys, you go under 10 minutes. Come on, that's criminal.
And then next was Miyuki Takase and Mika Iwata defeating Great Sakuya and Johnny Robbie in 10:30 with the rayon from Iwata on Robbie. Mika Iwata actually pinning somebody and not getting pinned. But I thought, again, this was, it was good. But again, I will give Sakuya more props for toning the character down because I thought she looked really good here. And I am starting to get into Great Sakuya.
Okay. Yeah, it was solid. Yeah, I mean, it was solid. I thought it was kind of nothing special. I liked it more than the previous match because, I mean, it just got that little bit more time to kind of cook a little bit more. With Great Sakuya, she's definitely not as, because she was really, the character was really bad early on. And now I think it's kind of found, a good equilibrium where, the match quality is, okay now. But it's still not, I don't know, it's still not somebody I'm oh, they definitely need to keep this character around, because now I'm also well, why is she here? Because it also doesn't seem like they built this, I thought the goal was to build this JHC women's title around her eventually, but that doesn't appear to be the case. So I don't know, what's this character for now, basically.
Yeah, for sure. And then we had three-way match, Yohei defeating Asuka and Archie Cole when Yohei pinned Cole with the drop kick. Again, only 7 minutes, a solid little match. And, I have become a Archie Cole guy. But, there's not much more to say about it.
Yeah. I gave him the number 3 spot on my Rookie of the Year list. So.
And then for the GHC Hardcore title, Hayata defeated Shuji Ishikawa. I laugh every time I see that. 13:03 with the modified cradle. And Ishikawa fails on the V3, and Hayata is the 4th champion in this new Hardcore title, or the 2nd edition of the Hardcore title. Paul, this wasn't bad, and it blew my expectations away. I'm not giving it 4 stars or anything. I'm just saying. Somehow the plunder forced Hayata to do things.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, he couldn't just do his normal boring slow work. He had to actually use the weapons and everything. But for me, I agree it's not as bad as it could have been. But like I said, I just have not been a fan of these hardcore title matches, because to me they're just subpar bloodless death matches. So I just can't get into them.
Well, and they also have to because you're in a company like Noah, so it's you really got to lead into the plunder, just do the plunder for the sake of the plunder in ways that you don't even do in a Big Japan death match, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there's no escalation. Yeah, there's no escalation of violence. It's just kind of, you just have the weapons and you use them, and it doesn't escalate really to that next level. And it also doesn't help that because they're Monday Magic exclusive, they also just go away for 6 months at a time, and then they bring them back.
Yeah, which is fine, because also though I don't want this title on regular Noah shows.
yeah, you know what? Actually, that's fair. I'd rather also just if it just stays in its own little world.
Yeah, that's fine. And so now we have. Well, look, at this way, we know that Hayata is not going to be winning the junior title anytime soon. I think that's fair to say.
Maybe, I don't know.
Well, I guess we'll find out, but I get that vibe. Then next up, Alpha Wolf, Dragon Bane, and Luis Monte defeated Galeno, Alejandro, and Kai Fujimura in 11:42 with the MCK from Monte on Fujimura. I would say this was one of the best matches of the show. It was just, your go, 6-man, perfect length at 11:42 and everything like that. So I thought that this was a nice palate cleanser.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, no, it's also very noticeable that Monte has a lot of experience working these kind of 6-mans, obviously, because they do that in Dragon Gate very regularly. And I think him, Alpha Wolf, and Bane make a really, really good trio. I would actually like to see them work together more regular, either Noah or in Dragon Gate, because I think I know, I think those 3 have a really, really great triple triangle gate reign in them.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up is could they be in Triangle Gate territory? But
well, I
yeah,
mean, Mante
it's
just
like-
won the Triangle Gate, so like that's not gonna happen. But
yeah, although when was the last time someone from Noah was in Dragon Gate? It's more like
like
got
Alpha Wolf and
emotional.
Dragon Bane were just there. Like,
oh, were they?
remember?
Okay.
Yeah, but the Dragon Bane got like that's where he got the concussion.
Oh, right. Okay. Yes. Okay, that makes sense. I was just thinking with because they were working with All Japan again.
Yeah.
But okay, that makes sense. And then semi-main event for the GHC Women's Championship. Takumi Iroha defeated Victoria Yuzuki in 1304 with the running 3. I thought this was a pretty solid match, although also very like dominant Iroha win. So, like 3.5, 3 3/4 range. But I think this was just really just a setup because after the match, Utami Hayashishita came out to challenge. And that's obviously where this title is going.
Yeah. Which I was like, okay, I was happy that it's now Niroa. So like, I mean, it was immediately obvious that, like the quality of the title matches went up like significantly. Again, nothing blowy here, but solid. But yeah, to me, the most important thing is that like, yeah, that is actually going to have a chance of being an excellent match. Like that title match. I mean, whenever that, like, did they actually announce a date for it?
I don't so.
Because it would be a shame where like they set this up and it's not gonna happen until like the next like season of Monday Magic.
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily happening in Noah because Marigold, they've got a Sumo Hall show and I can't remember when it is. It might be October. And that feels like, given the Marvelous versus Marigold feud, that seems like something that you'd save for that, but maybe not. I don't know.
And you're not setting that up now if you're doing it in October. Like, you're not setting that up in July, like, not as the challenge already. But, I mean, regardless of where it happens, I will watch it.
Yeah. I mean, that will be a great match.
Yeah.
And then for the main event with all the multiple promotions, and Paul was only 4, the 5th was just the card for the...
Yeah.
I know, I thought that too. But as it turns out, that is... so anyway, you had Kaito Kiyomiya, Ryohei Oiwa returning to Noah, and Yuki Ueno and Yuki Yoshioka defeating Yoshihashi, Kai, Akito, and Daiki Inaba in 1751. The Shining Lancer from Kiyomiya and Inaba. And my God, that losing team.
This is so unbalanced. Like, when, Jesus Christ. You might as well have named them Team Winner and Team Loser. Like, that's how on the nose this was.
Okay, Paul, sorry, update. Utami versus Takumi, July 16th. Double title match.
Ooh, so that's in 2 days. Okay,
yeah,
that goes onto the watch list immediately. Like that's a live stream as well. Yeah, so that's
so I'm trying to think. We got the Marigold versus Marvelous feud going on, and she just I don't know. I think Aroha might be winning it all.
Yeah, and then you do the rematch like on the Sumo Hall show or whatever.
Yeah, that's say what you will about Rasi Ogawa, but when he's in an interpromotional feud, he will let the other company get big wins, even if they're smaller than him.
Yeah, which is smart because then your guys, like you push up the business. Like, yeah, maybe you look a little bit weak at first, but then your guys are gonna come back on the big show and vanquish the bad guys, and that's how you get your heat back in an even bigger way. Like, yeah, you sacrifice. Oh no, we lost on a Hurricane, but then we win on the Sumo Hall show, which that's exactly how you do it. Like that. I mean, that's kind of how they did the Heisei Asian Gun like feud as well. You know, like that's just kind of like the UW, like on like the New Japan UWF feud, right? Where like New Japan won on the big show. That's where you win. Like you give up stuff on the small show, then you win on the big show.
Well, New Japan barely gave up things on the small show.
yeah, fair.
But like that's how not to book an interpromotional feud that runs out of steam relatively quickly.
Yeah.
So I kind of think Aroha will win that. But this match, I mean, it was a pretty good match. I think it probably was the best match of the show, even though I totally expected the team to win.
I mean, that's yes. I mean, like the moment they started, I was like, I'm gonna like bet all of my money on the Kiyomiya team. Like this is just so completely and like hilariously unbalanced. I mean, if you're being technical, the loser team had 2 former world champions on it. But, like, come on. Kai and Daiki Inaba.
that they did a pretty good job of making Oiwa feel like a big deal,
Yeah,
which is
I
not
mean,
something that New Japan has been doing very well lately.
exactly. That's why my argument was like, if he loses to Farley, but that was like before Farley like had to leave. I was like, if they put Farley over him, I was like, he should just jump back to Noah, because Noah, New Japan very obviously has no fucking idea what they're doing with him.
Yeah. So that was Wrestle Magic, which was like not a bad show, but I don't know, expected more from it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it was already like, I mean, last year's was a pay-per-view and everything, right? But
Yeah.
still, like, I would have expected a bit more than just like a house show, essentially, with like a little bit of extra stuff and some fancy guests in the main event.
Yeah. So we go on to show for the 20th anniversary Shinjuku Face on July 5th in front of 403 fans. I watched the first match of the show I watched was Daiki Naba defeating Daiki Otashima in 11:01 with the Katayo Passion Hold. Again, I'll always make time for like a Daiki Otashima match against a veteran. And, it was just a solid match. What can I say? To me, Otashima is the rookie of the year, and I just love watching all of his matches. And then I did Naomichi Marufuji, Will Cruz, and Amaska, and Junta Miyawaki defeating Kaito Kiyomiya, Galeno, Alejandro, Kai Fujimura in 11:56 with the cruise control from Cruz on Alejandro, which is a solid little way to introduce Cruz. And then I did not watch Saxon Huxley and Hayata versus Manabu Soya and Yohei.
I did, unfortunately.
How was that?
Not very good, to be honest. It was kind of what you expected us to be. There was also like, I don't know, it really was just there to like set up like Hayata and Yohei, and it was just boring otherwise.
And then Ozawa, Takashi Sugiura, and Daga defeated Kenta and Oka Sasaki in 21:55 when Ozawa pinned Kenta with the Real Rebel. And with one exception that I'll talk about later, Paul, for a certain reason, I'm getting kind of bored of these Team 2000X six-mans on the house show.
Yeah, they're very similar.
Yeah. Now, this obviously it was fine, but then, that takes over with Yoshi Tatsu. But you want to read anything to Ozawa pitting Keno before their title match?
You think maybe that Keno has a chance?
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, they're also doing like a lot of like heavy stuff where it's like, I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of shots being traded back and forth, right? Like where Keno's like, oh yeah, I found Ozawa's like mother or whatever, and she says he's a loser. And then Ozawa's like, it's like basically it's like implying that like Keno is a sub or whatever.
Well, okay. So he put out a picture of a woman sitting on Keno on all fours.
Yeah.
That was funny. I do like that Ozawa's social media game.
Yes. No. I feel like that's why I feel like maybe like with all of that social media, like I think it's more focused on that than like the actual matches. But I don't see Keno winning. Like,
well, to be fair, regardless of my feelings on Team 2000X, I think their willingness to push Ozawa hard, like even pitting his challenger before, says to me that I think Ozawa can still win because of how hard they're pushing him. And I think that's still the most likely scenario.
Because to me, like, I think he's holding the title for the rest of the year. Like, I think he's getting the full year and then loses it like January 1st.
If he does lose the title to Keno, how much longer do you think Team 2000X exists?
I could see them like collapse pretty quickly. Like, I could actually see them maybe like reconstitute in like a different like heel faction. I could see them maybe like then like turning, or I could almost see them turning like Ozawa face and like the fall essentially.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. And then Ozawa chases as the face.
Yeah. And then I could see him win like the N1 or something, actually. Or maybe not the N1, but then, like actually like I think regardless of if he keeps the title or not, I think he's in the title match January 1st either way.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I think we probably get an N1 announcements on this Corkin show.
Yeah, we should be. I mean we're getting close. Yeah.
And then the main event for the GHC Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship, Dragon Bane and Alpha Wolf defeated Tadasuke and Owada-san 16-13 with the Santa Maria from Bane on Owada-san. It was good, but also fell victim to the Team 2000X format because it was a little different. They ripped the masks and Whereas I'm expecting with Let's Go Padore is like the go, go, go thing. So
Yeah.
I don't think this was necessarily their best work. It was solid. And but I was going to say with this match, I'm still like, buying my stock in Owada-san.
Oh, definitely. Like, I think somewhat getting kept back a little bit by the gimmick right now. But I think what you see of there, otherwise, his fundamentals, I think is still really good. I think we won't really see like what he can actually do until he is actually fully out of young boy mode, and he's in a different gimmick essentially. And yeah, this match, that was actually my point as well with the mask ripping and everything. I think that also kept Dragonbane and Alpha Wolf more because you can't really do your flips all that well anymore if your mask is kind of flapping around because it impacts your vision a bit. So I think that also kind of ground to match to a slower pace as well.
Yeah.
And it wasn't bad. It's just as you said, I'm so used to these guys just flying all over the place, and that just wasn't what this match was. And it was fine.
Yeah. And so that was that show. Paul, did you see anything on the July 6th show?
No, I did not see anything on that show. No.
It was very, very this is a Noah Spot show.
Yeah. There was just I looked at the card and I was like, I'm gonna get to that later before we record, and then I never got around to
it. So then we jump to the 12th at Yokohama Radiant Hall, and I watched 3 matches from the show because I wanted to see Junta Miyawaki defeat Calibus in 10 minutes with the Ipanaze style Falcon Arrow. And I got to say, Paul, I thought this was a very solid match. Did you see it?
Yeah, I wasn't really all that impressed, to be honest. I think Calibus is a bit sloppy.
I thought he was a perfectly fine little mid-card guy.
Yeah, but to me, it also feels like we've seen so many of these kinds of luchadors that get a tour of Noah and then we just never see them again. So I'm hesitant to invest any kind of attention in him until I know that he's actually going to come back. And it's also he's also compared to most of the other luchadors that they bring in, he's a bit on the older side as well.
He is, yeah. He's in his 30s.
Yeah. So I don't know how much more we're gonna get out of this guy. Not that it was bad, but I was just yeah. I thought it was a match where Junta was just very clearly the better worker as well.
Yeah, for sure. But it was something that Junta needed. And then the next match.
Oh yeah, for sure. He actually got an actual dominant rather than being the underdog guy, right? That he actually got
winning with
a win where he was very clearly the better guy, both in kayfabe and in real life. Yeah.
And then I watched the semi-main, which is Tetsuya Endo, Will Cruz, and Ada defeating Kaito Kiyomiya, Galeno, and Alejandro. In Cruz won with the moonsault on Alejandro in 13:21, and this is all about setting it up. And so that match happened yesterday, but it will not be uploaded until this July 16th. So I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you'll have to see that review.
Yeah. Also, they broke, but apparently they broke the ring.
So I want to see what happened here. I like Cruz. I liked him the first time I ever saw him was on the Noah UK show. So, but I think he was a good idea to bring in and everything like that. And I thought this was a little match to set this up. And then for the main event, it was Ozawa, Daga, Tadasuke, and Owada-san defeating Keno, Kenta, Uka Sasaki, Daiki, and Daiki Odashima in 16:04 with the backslide from Owada-san on Odashima. Now, I said that I do not like these Team 2000 X 6-mans or 6 and 8-man tags. I'm growing weary of them. I like this one better than the recent ones I've seen because I thought that Odashima brought some juice to this, and I thought the finishing sequence with Owada-san was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I actually also really like the post match when it just started brawling like crazy all over the place. I thought that added some I think much needed it really expressed the heat that they've been building up on social media much more than the other preview tag that they did. There was that felt like there was some actual hate there and everything. So which I feel is appropriate if you're trading extremely personal barbs with each other. So yeah, I think I agree that Odashima added some much needed energy to the match as well, where it's because Keno and Kenta and Alka, like I think they are a good trio, but like yeah, they kind of need like in a way they need a lost post. They need someone like Daiki Odashima. Like again, that's the reason why, like for example, Dragon Gate always has a lost post in their factions, because like it's a necessary guy, because I think it makes the matches better as well, because you always have that like feeling of dread when they're like in the ring, right? Which you won't really have if you have like Keno Kenta and Ulka Sasaki, who are all like pushed to some degree. So yeah, I thought it just helped the match so much more. And I will say, I think like out of the Noah matches that we watched, that we watched, like I think this is like the best Noah match.
Yeah.
Out of this batch, basically. Like I think it was better than anything on Wrestle Magic.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but it was definitely up there. I'd give it maybe number 2 or 3.
Yeah, I mean the only other one I would consider is the Lucha 6-man.
Yeah. So yeah, like that's how you got to do these things, because these Team 2000X multi-mans are getting dreadfully boring.
Yeah.
So going ahead, I think we already talked about this show on the 19th at Cork, and there's nothing more that was added except we got Naomichi Marufuji and Daiki Odashima versus Kenta and Junta Miyawaki, which I'm actually quite looking forward to. And it's the main event is Keno and Ozawa, and then Yohei and Hayata, and some Team 2000X versus All Rebellion. So Jack Morris is back, Tadasuke Owada-sen, and X. Oh, I forgot.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a new
versus Kaito Kiyomiya, Galeno, Hirotoki, and Alejandro. I don't really have any idea of who X is. For all we know, it's just someone on the roster that's turning. It's Go.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Or maybe it's someone completely new.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be opposed to that. Like I hope it's not somebody turning again.
Could be a
what if it's Yuma Ansai?
Oh god.
That's like the worst possible like thing that you could do. And he could do like he's just like goes and joins Team 2000X for like a month and a half and then comes back to All Japan.
Yeah.
With Yoshitatsu.
So also Noah announced Wrestle Odyssey on Saturday, October 11th at Sumo Hall. And I saw someone say that they have opened up more tickets for this at the beginning of the sale period that they did for the last Sumo Hall show. So make of that what you will. But what do you think is happening on that show?
I mean, it probably have something big planned, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, given that the N1 is in September, that's got to be where the winner is challenging, right?
But is it part of the like regular Noah canon, or is it like
seems to be part of the regular Noah canon, but I'm not completely sure about that.
Okay, yeah, because if it's like a like the like Wrestle Magic, right, where it's like a Wrestle Magic show.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if they would. But then again, they have done GSC title matches on Wrestle Magic before.
Yeah, so
it's not like that would be unprecedented.
So once the N1 ends on the September 23rd, the only show, there's 4 shows announced for October. 3 of them are Monday Magic Extreme C, which is what the next one's called, which are all at Chiba, which is interesting.
And they're going to be all built around Hayata.
And then just the Wrestle Odyssey. So I don't know what's happening there.
Yeah, so I mean, in that case, yeah, they have to have like a big, like you can't run Sumo Hall without like a really big match. So they have to have something planned, especially if they are selling more like tickets. Like, so could we see like another like return of like Nakamura on that one then?
Yeah, that's that would be a good spot for him for sure. Just an update on All Japan's Korakuen this Thursday, which is main evented by Seki Yoshioka versus Rising Hayato, and the tag title match stood from the top. Tickets don't seem to be selling that well.
Oh no.
I thought that match placement was very interesting too.
Yeah.
They basically, they punted this Korakuen because they decided to have the Triple Crown match in Osaka number 2, Edion 2.
Yeah, I mean, and also like you don't have Yuma Ansai on it, so that's probably like all of his fans aren't going to be there.
Yeah. So we'll see.
I mean, you basically with like telling them Yuma Ansai isn't going to be there, and like put like secondary match. Like you essentially told your fans to not go almost.
Yeah.
You told them it's like, yeah, this one is safe to skip.
Mm-hmm. So that almost brings us to the end of the show, but we have a big topic to talk about to finish the show on. Paul, we're going to talk about some GLEAT. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But they decided to put their 4th anniversary show free on YouTube because I have had no compulsion to pay for their streaming service.
No.
And they did this at Tokyo City Hall and Gallery Gotanda and drew 340 fans, which they said was a super no vacancy full house. But Paul,
Yeah,
this
I mean,
is
sure.
the Tokyo Dome City Hall anniversary show.
I mean, it's also like this is like announcing a super no vacancy full house in Yokohama Radiant Hall. Like, cool. Like, congratulations.
There's a lot to unpack in this show and its aftermath. But first, let's begin. You didn't see the show, did you?
No, I did not.
Okay, so I'll be quick because I don't have much to say about the undercard. So, opening match, Al Lindemann, Takanori Ito, and Minoru Tanaka defeated Soma Watanabe, Junji, and JD Lee in 12:54 with a German suplex hold from Lindemann on Lee. Very solid opener. Okay, you know, I thought it was good. I like all those guys. So then we go to the G Rush title, which I had never actually seen before because
nobody has.
Yeah, except Mike Spears. Issei Onitsuka defeated Brass Knuckles June in 4:22 with the Hurricane Rana to make a 6th defense, and there was not much to this match. And my God, what they've done to June Tantra.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. That was like a guy, I was like, man, I wonder like how this guy's career is going to go, and it went into the toilet is where it went.
Oh, yeah, and then we got Kotaro Suzuki and Quiet Storm defeating Rock Iwasaki and Kaiichi Sato in 6:56 with the 53-centimeter arm lariat from Storm on Sato. Again, nothing to this match. And then we had the Triple Love Hawk with Kazuma Sakamoto versus Eminem Best Bros, which is Mason Mansoor, Balianaki, and Mei Suruga. And they defeated T-Hawk, Ryo Eitaka, Michiko, and Kazuma Sakamoto in 10:32 with the Dolphin Press from Suruga and Michiko. This was the comedy match, I suppose. Do you know Eminem was also working Big Japan?
No, I did see them on the DDT show, but
yeah, I thought that was
I mean, it seems like, I mean, to be fair, these two are like big wrestling fucking nerds.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised if they basically are like, oh, we're just gonna work all of the promotions. We don't even really give a shit, like, if you pay, like, how much you even pay us. We just kind of want to, like, you know what? I feel like this feels like genuinely they just want to do this.
Oh, for sure.
Because why the fuck else would you want to be like, yeah, we're going to work like Big Japan, you know?
They did. Oh, so July 3rd. Oh, this show is on Core, so you can watch it. I just didn't watch it.
Yeah.
But I might go back because it's like they defeated Akira and the MLW Akira and Marihana in 13:34. Or 13:37. So you can go back and watch that if you are so inclined to do so. But I thought that was kind of funny though at the same thing. Yeah, because they were 3 matches in Japan: DDT, GLEAT, and then Big Japan.
See, but if they were really wrestling nerds, they would have also worked Kyushu Pro, and like Osaka. So really, they have to come back and do this again.
Yeah. Kyushu would seem like ideal for them.
Yeah.
And then G Pro Wrestling special tag match, GLEAT and AAA. Shima El Patron defeated Ryuichi Shaman Kawakami and Chris Weiss in 11:45, the cross arm breaker from Patron and Kawakami. I'll give it better. It was better than the G Rush match, I suppose. I don't know.
Wow, that's nuts.
It wasn't good, but also wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I guess.
How was Alberto's like effort level here?
Not bad.
Because I fully expect him like to come into Japan and work a show in front of 340 fans and just completely dog it.
No, I was kind of expecting that, but it was fine, right? Like nothing, no dogging, but like nothing spectacular or anything like that.
Fair enough. I don't want to hand it to Alberto El Patron, but God, I guess.
Well, I mean, he might be the biggest babyface in Mexico right now.
Christ.
You saw that though, right?
Yeah, I saw the match where it's like, it sure seems to be going well.
Behind him.
No, I saw the AAA, like when he had the match with Vikingo, where like he like turned into like the biggest babyface because the crowd hates Vikingo now.
Right. Yeah. I forgot to mention, did you see the Inamura match in NXT? Because I didn't get
Yes, actually, I did actually.
Okay, well, we'll save that for the final thing then.
Yeah, do it after, yeah.
So then so the show finally picks up though. G-Infinity title. Takahiro Yamamura and Issei Onitsuka defeated Tetsuya Izuchi and So Daimaji in 2034 with the Tamashi no shooting star press from Onitsuka on Izuchi to make their second defense of the titles. And Paul, I would go second best match of the show. Very good, fast-paced action. Maybe a little long, but all of these four guys are really great.
I mean,
I'll be seeing later. Fine, we'll get to that later.
Yeah,
but
I will just say, just real quick, very selfish of Onitsuka to like get the win and keep the titles in his retirement match.
Yes. So, yeah, I mean, I was like, okay, so this company can be pretty good. I thought after seeing this match, just if you watch the top two matches of this, it's fine. That's all you need to do. And then in the main event for the G-Rex title, and it was just the G-Rex on the line, but even though Nakajima, also the Lidet UWR champion, Kazuhiko Nakajima defeated Kaito Ishida in 23-17 with the Northern Lights Bomb to win the G-Rex title. This was really great, actually.
God damn it.
I went for
I have to watch it. Fuck.
Should. They kicked the shit out of each other, not surprisingly, with these two guys and everything like that. They finishing stretch, they kind of battled over like getting each other into Northern Lights Bomb, but then Nakajima ultimately won that and won the title. He still got it.
Yeah, I mean, the wrestling was never his issue. That's the problem.
Oh, I know.
The in-ring work was never the problem. Why he is where he fucking is now.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's still plenty of promotions in Japan that would like to have a worker at the level of Katsuhiko Nakajima on their roster, and probably would also want to like push him to a decent degree as well. Just says more about him that he isn't there.
Yeah,
and somehow not the most controversial person in GLEAT anymore. Or
so what do I have to say on this about the show? While the top two matches were great, Nakajima's still great. Ishida's still great. I have to give him credit too because he's really good in the main event. But that undercard.
Yeah, that looks rough.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah, so much more. Some of only half done with GLEAT.
After the show was pretty quick, right?
Yes, yeah, because he was already gone by like the next show. Yeah,
Issei Onitsuka's retired because he was going to be suspended for a year, but then he chose retirement. He stripped of both of his titles, the G-Rush and the G-Infinity. And some people are very angry at him, but we don't know. And I have no clue what to speculate about because I don't want to speculate. Although talking to the enemy has been speculated, although something worse has been as well, which I don't know, but Although I took the line about the criminal investigation as more of a legal violation of contract. Than,
that's more of the
very
thing,
criminal. Right? People, I think, jumped to conclusions on that. I think it was more like litigious stuff than like true criminal activity type thing.
Yeah, and it might also be, again, a thing of like, it's always hard to translate that into Japan because I think generally if you want to like basically terminate someone's contract, you do need to do an investigation before you do that. But that could be for like anything they've done. Like it doesn't have to be like an actual crime.
Right. Also, they were just going to suspend him for a year, but he chose retirement instead.
Yeah.
Which I don't think he's going to stay retired because he could probably be able to be contractless within less than a year.
Yeah. This promotion isn't making it to its 5th anniversary, right? Like, there's no way.
No, I can't believe it. Well, it's got to be a money pit already, and I don't understand this. Although I gotta say, what's the Lidet guy's name? Because he is quite the optimist, or has been at least in the past.
Something Suzuki.
Yeah, I thought it was Suzuki. He's quite the optimist, but he's burning a lot of money on.
Yeah, and there's only so much you can counteract that with your bar business or whatever.
And it sounds like Shima's going free.
Yeah, that's the actual death knell for this promotion. Like that's just it. Like it's over, basically, is what I'm saying. Because this promotion never really developed a fan base of its own, right? Like the only people that were still going to those shows, and it was less and less every single time, were like Shima fans. Like that's the people that were going to these shows for like fans of Shima. And if he's leaving, then like this promotion is just fucking dead.
Yeah.
Dead as a doornail.
We don't know what the rest of Strong Hearts, Strong Hearts doesn't exist anymore, but we don't know what Lindemann is, do we?
I mean, T-Hawk at least was tweeting out a bunch of like pro company things.
But that
like
was
after the Onitsuka thing, yeah, who knows? And then who knows if the Shima leaving is that's related to whatever was going on with Onitsuka. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just an incredibly like weird ass situation. I mean, but like, who the fuck do they even have anymore now?
Well, to be fair, if they're getting Shima's contracts off the book, they might be able to go a few more months.
I mean, maybe, but like I mean, who do they even have left on their roster anymore? Right? Because Haito Tamura is out. Soma Watanabe is out as well.
Sorry, no, Yuizuka is gone. Watanabe was on the show.
Oh, what? Yeah, sorry, yeah. For some reason, I always confused them. Yeah, so like half of the like guys they wanted to build around are gone.
Yeah.
I mean, you have your belt. Now you have both belts on Nakajima. I mean, to be fair, I mean that's also the clearest sign that like the dead UWF thing is also probably dead now, right? If you just have like one guy hold both belts, it's like the way you kind of quietly get rid of that.
I don't know. I think you know what? Isn't I feel like did they say they're going to do Lindemann versus Nakajima? Or am I dreaming that up?
I don't know. I know they just did. Well, they wanted to do Onitsuka versus Nakajima, and then they had to literally pivot that to Shima versus Nakajima because Onitsuka retired.
Right.
And then Shima left now as well. I guess maybe Lindemann makes sense, but like he lost in the opener of that show, so.
Oh, Ledet. Okay, so here we are, August 9th, Ledet UWF version 6 are doing Ledet UWF rules, Nakajima.
Sure, why not?
So I don't know. They had a Shima 20th anniversary show on August 24th. He might still work that show.
I mean, it's kind of pointless to even hold this show otherwise. He's just freelance, right? Like, it's not like he has fully left, but like him. I mean, again, it will just mean that he will work significantly less shows, which I always thought that like at least GLEAT would last until they do like a big Shima retirement show.
Yeah.
And then basically they use that as like the exit thing of like, okay, Shima retired, and that's basically like the peak we're ever going to get to, and then you can fold it off afterwards. But now they're not even going to get that because now he's a freelancer. He's going to like shop that show around like Muto did basically.
Well, they're doing a show at Yokohama Buntai on November 3rd.
Yeah, somebody has to like set the like record for like least tickets sold, right?
Listen to this. It's going to have Ledet UWF and GLEAT MMA on it as well.
Oh yeah, that's what everybody's clamoring for. It's GLEAT MMA because it's so well beloved. Everybody loves GLEAT MMA.
So, Paul, what is your... Okay, so we are now on Great Death Watch.
Yeah.
What is your timeline on this?
So my thinking is, I'm thinking they're getting to the year end. I think their last show is going to be like the year end show.
Yeah.
Because like just based on how far in advance you have to book buildings in Japan, right?
They don't have anything announced past that November show at Buntai.
Oh, you're thinking that one's the final one?
No, but they might do the Christmas show or year-end show.
Yeah, because I feel like they at least have like Tokyo Dome City Hall or something booked for that, so they have to do that show because they already paid for the building. Which, I mean, I will go if that show happens. I will be there. Probably will have an easy time getting tickets, so that's nice.
Yes, you'll have a great choice of seats for that one.
Hey, I mean, maybe I will actually like sit like all the way on like the floor there, which that might be like, again, hey, I mean, who else can say that they've been to like the last show of a promotion, right? Like I've only ever made it to like second to last show of a promotion because I was like at the second to last show of like Cork City Wrestling. So I can say I will be at the last GLEAT show.
I guess to go back to Shima for a second, I don't know where this guy's going to work.
Yeah, because like the relation, I mean, never say never in wrestling, right? But it still seems like the relationship with Dragon Gate is just utterly and completely poisoned.
Oh, well, it took Ultimo almost 20 years.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like never say never for me is more on a time frame of like maybe he'll pop back up there in like 15 years or so. Like I think there's a 0% chance he goes there now. But then where does he even go? Like the reason
Well,
he ended
okay,
up in GLEAT in the first place was because there wasn't really anything else for him.
Wrestle 1 dead.
Yeah.
You don't think at this point with Shima, there's no point in All Japan spiking their renewed relationship with Dragon Gate.
No. Also, remember that like last time he was in All Japan, it's not like he left a good impression either when he refused to drop to Akira Francesco.
Right. So we think.
Yeah, it is a suspicion, but like, I mean, the signs are pretty fucking obvious.
New Japan, I don't think he's just old.
Yeah, no, there's no value.
Show.
Well, what would they even want with him, you know?
Noah, I don't know, but it seems they still have a relationship with Dragon Gate.
Yes, exactly. Like, there's too many like Dragon Gate people on there. I don't think it's even the Dragon Gate relationship. Ada is the guy that's stopping that.
Okay. There you go.
Because Ada literally refused to leave with Shima. I think Ada fucking hates Shima. Like, there's no way he allows him to like come in. Like, if Shima comes in, Ada's fucking gone, and Ada's on a contract, so Noah's gonna pick him. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're left with Shima produce shows at Shinkiba.
Yeah, Big Japan.
And Big Japan.
Yeah.
And would he touch him?
Maybe.
But that DDT great thing stopped too.
Yeah. That's like out of like any kind of reasonably sized promotion. That's like the only Kyushu Pro.
Yeah. I mean, he might just want to do his retirement show.
Yeah, I if I'm Shima, like he's fucking washed too. So I feel like that's why I feel like he's leaving now, because I think he's gonna shop around his retirement show and see if he can get some money mark to do it.
Yeah. It's interesting because remember we did the great draft.
Yeah.
And
who goes where?
We might be totally headlong into this, right? But when we did that, I don't think Nakajima had shown up yet, or he had just shown up.
I think that was just before he showed up. Yeah.
Yeah. So what happens to him?
I think he might be in a worse position than Nakajima than Shima, actually. Because I mean, to be honest, I feel like with him, if he would show contrition, I feel like if he could actually convince somebody that he's like gonna be on his best behavior, maybe there's a chance Noah takes him back. I don't think All Japan will be, because for them it's just a risk reward that isn't there, right? Because they can't afford getting sued, which is what almost happened to them last time.
I guess it depends how much. If I were All Japan, I'd take him back if he showed some contrition.
Yeah, I mean, given how much business, you know, Nakajima versus Kento would do again.
There's still, if him popping back up again in All Japan, there's so much juice in that with both Kento and Anzai.
But like the very first thing I'm doing is I'm like having Kento beat him. Just immediately, just like no, we need to like he at that point needs his win. Like you.
If Great goes under, do you think Hayato Tamura and Yu Iizuka will suddenly become healthy?
Yes. Yuzuka, I'm not sure. Hayato Tamura, I feel like is literally sitting out his contract. Like he's probably banged up, but every wrestler is banged up. Every wrestler is always banged up. I feel like he is just kind of like, oh, this promotion is so fucked. There's no point in me like sacrificing my body. I'm just kind of gonna like heal up, train a bit, and then come back whenever my contract expires, and then go to like.
It's funny because also on the topic of when we did the great draft, I feel like since then a few people have like lowered their stock.
Yeah, Kawakami, Jun Toncho.
Yeah, for sure. Kawakami's weird because he's like in that mid to late 30s age. It's like, yeah, it's worth it.
I feel like he's at least a guy you can. If he comes cheap, he's a guy I would put on my roster because he's solid enough. You know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Takanori Ito just hasn't done anything. Soma hasn't done anything. They never pulled the trigger really on Soma.
I mean, they did give him that title reign and then ended it in 6 days. So
I think Junji has really stepped up, especially since he ditched the original gimmick.
Yeah.
Which was goofy. And then
Yamamura is great, but like he's such a like risk to take on.
Although he's held together so far.
Yeah. But again, he nearly died twice.
Yeah. He's still really good too. That's the thing.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Look, if all of Onitsuka was doing was talking to someone else.
Yeah. If all he did was like, I don't know, talk to like some member of the Dragon Gate roster, I don't know.
Or even if it was contract tampering, whatever is great.
He gives a shit.
Still take him. He's still great.
Kaito Ishida is absolute. I think Kaito Ishida is gonna land somewhere for sure.
If I'm All Japan, I'm looking at Ishida.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Even Noah.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on who will give him a job.
I mean, it also like depends if he's fine with just being a junior as well.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't. He did that one title challenge in All Japan.
Yeah.
I think though he did get the main event running great.
Mm.
Yeah, that remains to be seen. But we can officially go on the Great Death Watch. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah. I think T-Hawk might be fucked. Like I know that All Japan pushed him, but like I've heard that T-Hawk is like an asshole basically, and nobody likes him.
Yeah. New Japan might take Lindemann. Maybe.
Yeah, but I also feel like if they really wanted him, they would have poached him already.
Yeah, that's the thing. Not looking good.
No.
So.
I feel like okay, some people will fall. I don't think all of them will fall through the cracks. And I mean, it's still not sure, if this whole if Tranquilo Pro or whatever is actually like real. But I think if that becomes a real,
people are just willing that into
existence. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if that becomes a real promotion, I think like a lot of these guys will go there.
People were speculating that Shun Skywalker was going to join Tranquilo Pro.
Oh no! I mean that was just
because he had
turns out Shun
gimmick
fucking worked everybody really well on that one.
And then people were saying Anzai, and we already talked about what Anzai's problem.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's
so
like literally he said he was gonna come back. Yeah,
this is all pure. Yeah, he clearly. I forgot to mention that in that interview, Anzai was like, "No, I'm coming back." Right. So
yeah,
which is why I think it was a movie, TV, whatever. So yeah, the Tranquilo Pro is pure just projection. Sorry to say.
Yeah. Now what should get announced like in between us recording and like uploading the episode or like 5 minutes after it gets uploaded? It's like, yeah, we're running like a full schedule and we're running like Sumo Hall in September or whatever.
I suppose it's not impossible. I just think a lot of it is right. Yeah. So that is our Great Death Watch. We'll have to lean into this and do the updates. Is Great dead yet?
Who knows? It might go real. It might be dead by the next time we record.
Nah, they probably make it to the end of the year.
I do think so too.
Look, wrestling attracts a lot of people that are willing to burn a lot of money. I just can't think it lasts.
Yeah, no, that was always obvious, and when I think it became basically non-viable when that Sumo Hall show just bombed completely. When that first version mega show, right? When they tried their hardest, they brought again, you have to remember that was Ibushi's first match back in Japan, and it did horrific business. And I think at that point it was clear that Great was just never ever gonna be a viable promotion.
Yeah, I agree. So, oh well, can add that one to the pile.
Mm-hmm.
And
to be fair, I will say it lasted longer than I thought it would.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe they've been around for. I mean, they started out in the middle of the for promotion. It started out in the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, Wrestle One lasted 7.
Yeah, so it's gonna last
just under 7. Yeah, but Big Japan will still be doing shows.
Yeah,
you can look forward to that. I am convinced that they are not going out of business anytime.
Big Japan. Yeah, I mean they are a cockroach. The one thing that will give me pause is the fact that Sekimoto, that them losing the income of the Sekimoto bookings that's gonna hurt them.
All right, so final topic, Paul, take it away.
Yeah, so Inamura losing to Obafemi in NXT. So I only watched that one. I didn't watch the rest of the.
Oh, I would hope not.
Because fuck watching NXT. So the match overall, I thought it was fine. I actually kind of like Obafemi. Again, I don't watch NXT, so wasn't really super familiar with him. But I think he has good. I think he has good aura and everything. Good look, obviously. I mean, he's in WWE, so he gets fed well and everything. So I thought that was really good. I thought the match was pretty decent as well. Inamura, I think to me he's clearly the better worker, but I mean obviously he has much more experience than Femi does. But I think Femi actually held his own. It's not like he got like completely outworked here. And I thought actually like his like transitions and everything were really, really smooth. So overall, it was a really, really solid match. Like, I'm not gonna like go and say like it's like a match of the year contender or whatever, or like give it a rating, because it's definitely under 4. So, and it was also dragged down by the fact that they had to like put in like North American like bullshit, because Josh Breaks was at ringside, and basically they did the thing where like basically now like Inamura is a face and Breaks is a heel. So they did the thing where like Breaks like behind Inamura's back, he like hit Obafemi with the title belt. And then Inamura just kind of like sees like Obafemi on the ground, and he like goes up for like a splash. And then he like sees like Breaks holding like the title belt and everything. And he's like, oh no, as the valiant babyface, now I cannot like do my move. I need to argue with my partner instead. And then he kind of like lost the match from there. So that very much dragged it down for me. Like otherwise, like incredibly solid match. Like I actually enjoyed it. Like even like the whole like WWE production and everything wasn't annoying here, because it was like in a really small venue, right? Like it was like in like center stage. So it really was only like, basically it was like a Osaka show, like an Indian show in the smaller one, right? That's kind of similar sized crowd. I thought the commentary wasn't as annoying, and I think because it was such a small venue, they didn't do, at least not for this match, not that I noticed at least, they didn't do the like really obvious like crowd sweetening, and the crowd actually was like into the match as well, so that helped it as well. So overall, I enjoyed it. I don't think it's something you need to go out of your way to like watch, but also if you do watch it, like you're not gonna waste your time either.
Okay, so that's interesting. Do you think though Inamura is going to be doing anything else, or is it that feel like?
I feel like he's gonna. Well, I think the end point is gonna be like him versus Breaks.
Right.
Like they kind of set that up here because they like argued after the match and everything. So like I feel like that's very obviously going to be like the end point. Like he's gonna have a match with Breaks, lose, and then I think he's gonna be back. But I mean, you can do that pretty quickly. So I actually wouldn't be shocked if he's back for the N1.
Yeah, no, I would expect that. They really need him in that.
Yeah.
It could, using the Noah talent and a couple of foreigners, it could get dicey with the quality. I don't know, depending on who they bring in. But I really hope it's time to bring him back.
Yeah. Because it doesn't look like he's like signing with like WWE or anything like that.
No, they're not going to push him above what they just did.
Yeah.
Right. That's the peak type thing. So that is everything. So we covered some other things that we don't usually do. It was fun. I'm sort of enjoying watching more other things in a variety, even if it's not always good. Sometimes it's fun to watch the world burn.
Yeah.
In the case of GLEAT. Paul, I think we should come back next week, actually, because we'll have the big Noah Corkin, and we got 3 All Japan shows between now and next Monday, including a tag title match in the Triple Crown. Plus
And
of the Junior Battle of Glory.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that'll be more than enough. So we will talk to you next week, and enjoy all the wrestling out there. Bye.
Hello, everyone. My name is Taylor.
And I'm Kelly.
And we are the co-hosts of Jumping Bomb Audio, the #1 show all about the world of Joshi Pro Wrestling. Every other Monday, we're coming at you with news, show reviews, and previews of upcoming Joshi action.
So whether you're just getting into the scene or you've seen it all, this is the show for you.
Check us out on the Voices of Wrestling podcast network and wherever you get your audio.
Hello, do you like New Japan Pro Wrestling? Are you a Shin Nihon freak? If so, check out the Super J-Cast with Joel and Damon on the Voices of Wrestling podcast network.
And even if you fucking hate New Japan Pro Wrestling, listen to the Super J-Cast anyway. Not just for our great show reviews, analysis, and pastrami sandwiches, but there's also usually some dick jokes somewhere in the obligatory opening 30 minutes of absolute nonsense we chat about every single week. That's the Super J-Cast for all the best talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling, crisps, and pornography.